Welcome to the Nosy Gardener channel. Today we're here at Spiderweb Gardens in Tuftonboro with Aubree Ronan, and the Ronan family are the owners of Spiderweb Gardens. So it's not even spring yet. It's March 11th, and Aubree is going to give us a tour of what's happening here because you just opened for the season. So there's a lot happening with seeds and plugs and got microgreens. So you'll just show us around. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Aubree, and we are the proud new owners of Spiderweb Gardens. This is going to be our second full year, and we're excited to bring new things, new flowers, new plants, and excited to just have the community coming back in. So we're excited.
And you can see Aubree on their Facebook page. That's where I see most of the stuff. She puts up short videos and shows what's happening here. So we're going to walk around and we're just going to see what's happening and take it from there.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, we're going to start in the retail shop. This is where you have tools and seeds.
We've got spring flowering bulbs coming up that we planted last fall and kept in our cellar until it was time to take them out. We got all our seeds, some seeds here, and then another rack over here.
Are they different brands or just
It's all the same brand.
Okay.
They're botanical interest. They're USDA organic certified. So
okay, nice.
we've got a nice array of those.
And tell me about the pussy willows here.
Pussy willows, we cut these ourselves on property. We have two different spots where there's pussy willows. This kind, which is like has the smaller little fluffy.
Pretty.
Yeah. And they're much longer. They're big shrubs. And then these kinds over here are bigger.
And those are all here from the property?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep,
Okay.
they grow right here, and we cut them. Cut them as needed because we don't want to cut them too soon or anything like that. So
very pretty.
just leave some in here. Yep, and then we have all the cultivating and gardening tools.
And then in the summertime, these are two large doors that are open. So right now, you have it closed off. So that's an overhead door.
Yeah, that garage door is almost always open as soon as the weather gets nice, so people can kind of filter in and out a bit more seamlessly, especially when you have a wagon full of plants. It's easier to pull through.
And then this is the checkout area.
Yep, and then the register.
And you have some containers for flowers because you do cut flowers.
We do cut flowers in the summer. Super excited for the cut flower field this year.
Oh, very nice.
Lots of varieties coming in. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, so we're going to walk through the greenhouses and see what's happening and get inspired for gardening.
So this is something new too. This is like a potting shed where you can, if you bring in a plant from home, we can pot it up for you.
Oh, okay.
Here. And this is just like terrarium.
So that's interesting. If you have a favorite pot, someone can bring it and you'll make it. Okay, very nice.
And then greenhouse 9.
Feels so warm in here. It's nice.
I know. House plants mainly on this side where we like to keep them. Succulents on this side.
Oh, those are fun.
Yeah, these are really pretty. Super cute.
And is this going, I know at Christmas time I've been here with all the poinsettias in here, but what happens in here in the winter? Is it
any plants that are left over, we leave the heat on to a degree that just keeps them
not
alive,
frozen.
not frozen. So a lot of these, like these are frosty ferns that were left over from winter. And you'll see some cyclamen as we walked in, left over. But yeah, we just, if there's anything left in here, we just keep the heat running at a temperature that makes sure they don't freeze. And then all these smaller plants are the plugs that we ended up potting up. So we fill all these trays by hand back there. Okay. They're working, filling trays. Yep.
Okay, and what are these plants here? I didn't see.
I think they're begonias.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yep. Begonias. These will be combo pots. They're really very popular, especially for Mother's Day. A nice assortment of everything.
So they'll be quite large by Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah. Full. Nice and big. Just like the picture, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pansies.
Oh, got to have the pansies.
Got to have the pansies.
And then you planted all these as well?
We planted all of these. Wow. Yep. So they come all individual, just like yay big. And we plop them in, and then we take care of them.
Getting a way head start. Now, can anybody buy plugs, or is that more of a retail wholesale?
I think it's more of a wholesale thing.
Okay.
Yeah, all the companies we work with are definitely, for the most part, just for wholesale, because you're buying in such large quantities. And then we get back here, and then it just becomes the planting, the prepping station, really.
All right. So I'll follow you.
Yeah, we can go into the seed house. And it's always pretty warm in the seed house.
Right, very warm.
So yeah, this is the seed house. This is where we start all our seeds. For the most part, we seed everything that goes into the cut flower field and everything that's going to go into our, we're calling it like a micro market garden out back. So this is mostly just cut flowers starting right now.
Okay.
And I've got some herbs going as well.
So these trays look really small, and then you take them all out and put them into right into the ground, or
they'll probably go up into another container before we plant them out in the ground.
Okay.
So like these, I'd wait till they get a little bit taller, but they do have their third set of leaves coming in. So then I'll put that into another container that's probably like yay big, and it'll root out in there. And then by then, it'll probably be ready to go into the field. So
from these to another pot and then the field.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've got snapdragons, all different colored snapdragons. We have, I can't pronounce this one, but it looks like a little, it looks like a thistle.
Okay.
It's like a decorative flower that you put into a bouquet. It's not like a statement flower. Craspedia looks like a little butterball. Feverfew, a super darling.
Yes.
Verbena bonariensis is very popular. Everyone always comes in asking for it. It gets like my height.
Wow.
With tiny little purple flower clumps at the top. Butterflies and bees love them. I think that's why people really like them. That's that. Then we have parsley, oregano.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Mint, not sure what's happening here.
Really? Yeah, mint's
sometimes
usually hardy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. There are new seeds. I might try again, maybe in a different type of tray. And just more herbs and things.
So some of the cut flowers must be perennials too that you have in the field, or you start from scratch?
Yeah, some are perennial.
Okay.
Rudbeckia, we have some Rudbeckia here, and Feverfew are perennial.
Okay.
What else? We have like the leucanthemum daisies are out there.
Okay.
We planted them last year, so they should come back again this year.
Okay.
But yeah.
So we'll go into another greenhouse?
Take a peek into greenhouse 2. And 2 is where we bring all of our spring bulbs from the cellar.
Okay.
To warm them up and turn them green.
Beautiful.
So a majority of these are for churches.
Okay.
So some are tied off. So those are church orders. They are available for retail sale as well, but a majority of them go to churches because they
pre-order that?
They pre-order that, yep. Okay. And as the orders come in, we kind of just tie them off. And they come and pick them up like the couple days before Easter.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah, so these are all daffodils. These are the buds.
And you've saved all the bulbs yourself? And then you said from the cellar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we planted these all up in the fall.
Okay.
And then we store them in our cellar because it's dark and cool.
Right.
So they don't grow.
Okay.
We water them like occasionally. And then we take them out. I think the tulips we took out like 5 weeks prior to Easter. These we took out 4. And then you kind of just hope and pray that they don't come along too quickly.
Okay. So you did all the work in the fall by planting them in these pots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's a tip for people to do if they want to have tulips inside.
For sure, yeah. If you have like a cool basement or a space where it would stay dark and cool, you could totally do it in your home.
Yes.
When you take them out, just find a warm spot with sun in your kitchen.
And they'll be higher than they would be in the ground.
Exactly. Because we planted some in our field too, and those aren't doing anything yet because they're covered in snow. So yeah, if you want something in your house.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
To plan for next year. So then this is something over, what is this over here?
Those are hyacinth. We just took those out yesterday. Okay. So it is fascinating the color journey they take. Those are hyacinth over there, but we took those out about 2 weeks ago. So just the difference in the heat and seeing the sun. These will come along.
Wonderful.
But then you have like more than one bloom's time, right? Yes. So those will bloom.
Okay. And
then these will bloom. You'll still have hyacinth probably, I don't know.
Very nice.
Till April. Maybe into April.
All right. You must have a big cellar to put all these in.
It is big. And you know what? It doesn't look big. And then you stack them all and you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, you can fit a lot in there.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
How soon can you do that? You know, bring them out. Let's say you had them in there all winter. If it's warmer, they'll start to, like if you wanted them in February, would they start to grow if you brought them inside?
I think so, because from what I've read and what I've learned, they want like a good 6 weeks of being cold, dormant or whatever in the pot. So yeah, if you did it in the fall and you wanted like a spring flower in February, I don't see why you couldn't take it out earlier and force it.
Right.
That's what they call it, forcing. You're forcing it to bloom.
Okay, mud season has started.
I was just gonna say, you'll notice all of the mud. There's a lot. There's not much in greenhouse 4, but when we get other plugs that don't go into greenhouse 9, they come in here. So there's a handful of trays in here.
Okay.
And we do work in here planting them up and everything like that.
And then I know this is always full of something too.
Yeah, that will have hanging basket geraniums, 4-inch geraniums, potato vine. People love that. And some flower, like a marigold, type of marigold.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But then these are still all empty.
So there are several greenhouses here in a row, which will all be brimming with activity soon. But your property goes down there, and I know you do vegetables, and your cut garden is down there.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So the bigger greenhouses down back also get completely full with plants.
Okay.
So we're busy planting until the end of this month, filling up those greenhouses. And then for the cut flower field, yeah, it's down there directly across from where we're going to do our little micro garden this year.
And we're just not going down there because it's mud season.
Yeah, you'll sink in for sure.
We don't really need to do that.
No.
So we can come back another time.
Some other shrubs are always over there.
Okay, so we're on the other side of the greenhouses. This is the old farmhouse, right?
Yeah. That's where all the families before, like Bill Stockman and then everyone after him, they lived there.
So Aubree says that they have
there.
an office and a lunchroom in there and bathroom. And we're going in the barn where all those bulbs were hiding.
Yes, I can show you that for sure.
And this is the other side beyond the greenhouses where the other gardens are.
Yeah, you can kind of see part of the field. I mean, it's still hard to tell with all the snow on it.
Yeah, it's official.
And the mud.
Worst season of the year. Okay, this is what nobody gets to see.
Literally, yep.
Oh, wow, it is huge.
So this is the basement barn. We've got tools here, workbenches, crates and tabletops. Like we make all the tables in the greenhouses.
Oh, okay. Wow.
The bulb cellar's here. You can take a peek. Just watch your head because it is very low, the ceiling. Oh, so all those crates that you saw in 2 were positioned here on the bottom and on the top of the benches.
Okay.
And then we just keep them in here with the lights off and they sleep.
All right, very cool. So that's what you're talking about up there.
Yeah, like where that window is and those little windows. That's kind of like, actually my dad has all his tools. That's like his work shed.
So you're running the shop and the gardens?
Yeah, I mean,
day-to-day, you're the face of the operation.
Yeah. I'm like positioned as manager. Okay. So I do all the bookkeeping, ordering, scheduling, payroll. And then I am the one primarily doing all the seeding for the cut flower field and the vegetable garden. But then we have like our greenhouse manager. She oversees all the greenhouses, make sure they're weeded, watered, you know, looking for any bad bugs, letting me know if there's any bad bugs. So it's definitely an all hands-on operation for sure. And it gets very busy in the spring.
Oh, very busy.
In the best way possible. We like it to be busy.
So this is the front of the retail area. And the last time I was here was when I was getting my Christmas tree, which is usually in this area.
Yep.
And then down where a logging truck is where you have the nursery. Yeah,
like right behind that shed right there. That's our fertilizer shed. But beyond that, behind it, we have all the trees and shrubs.
All right, very good.
Yep, azaleas, rhododendron, all the good things.
Aubree, thanks for the tour.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're open now until Christmas.
We're open now till Christmas. Yep. We're open the month of March. We're open 10 to 4. And then April, we're going to go back to 8 to 4. And May and June, we're going to have extended hours, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Oh, wow. That's
for those folks getting off of work at 5.
Yeah. All right. Well, great. We'll stop by here in Tuftonboro. And I'm sure we'll visit you again when it's full swing to get another tour to see the difference and all the things that happen here.
It looks so different. Every season is it looks so different.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Aubree.
Yeah. Thank you.